We'll wait for a couple of people to come on. Tonight, Wednesday night live, is a little bit different because I have my guest live with me here in the living room. So yeah, it's very weird. I didn't think I'd ever have you on here.
I didn't either. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Yeah, I've been on plan for a couple of weeks now. You get to come on. So yes, I wait for a couple of people to come on. We've got some questions that we're going to go through together that have been sent over, but please put your questions down below. There's a little icon at the bottom. It's a speech bubble with a question mark in. So if you've got any questions, please use that, just because they can sometimes get lost in the chat, and that way we can see them and share them with everybody. But yeah. Hi Naz, hi I find this so weird. Oh, thanks, Jem.
Thanks, Jem.
Do you like the navy orange combo? I feel like this has gone quite well tonight.
Can I start by thanking people?
Right, it's not an award ceremony.
I know, but people who've taken...
Georgie said smile as well, because you look miserable.
I can't smile, I got teeth.
Go on, who did you want to thank?
For people on Rachel's Sunday Q&As who take an interest of how I'm getting on. It's nice to know people who don't know me are interested in it, so thank you, and apologies if you were joining tonight to see some massive person from the one-to-one diet world. It's just little old me. So
who has been on his own journey for what, 6 weeks now?
Week 8 now. Week
8 now. So yes, I obviously started plan back in December, and whenever I'd made the decision that I wanted to start consulting, which is really exciting, we decided that Jamie would come on board with that and help me. We both work full-time jobs, but we both really wanted to throw ourselves into the business side of it. And I basically said to him, if you want to come on board with me, then you need to know how the plan works. You can't, be in this business with me and helping me with slimmers and not know how the plan goes. You've seen me do it, but you need to do it yourself. So set him up initially for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We were just going to do 2 weeks and just see how he found it. And you've absolutely smashed it, to be fair.
Thanks.
You have done really, really well.
Thank you very much.
So we set him up with Gemma. Gemma consults him in the same way she consults me.
Shout out to Jem.
Whoop whoop. I did have a couple of people ask actually whether or not when I start consulting if I would take Jamie on as a slimmer. The answer is absolutely not. He can stay. You can stay with Jam and do it with Jam. But how have you found the? Well, first of all, when I started doing plan, what were your thoughts of it?
I was a massive skeptic, to be fair. Not outwardly to you, because obviously I wanted to support you going through it, but going down to that many calories, seeing what you were eating, and you telling me that you're not hungry, I didn't believe you. And then just thinking you're not eating food at all, I just thought, nah, there's something up with this. But then every week when you came downstairs and you were like, 7 pounds, that's another 6 pounds, that's another 8 pounds, and then it just carried on and carried on and carried on. I was just like, all right, okay, there must be something in this then. And then obviously when I'm having food and stuff and you're sitting there with your little sweets at the end of the night, and I got a bar of chocolate or something like that, or a bowl of cereal, you do feel a bit guilty and stuff. But yeah, I was a massive skeptic, and then it's only taken it's only taken me trying the products and going on plan now to find out that it actually does work.
Yeah, and whenever you, because I used to say to you when I was having my products, try a bit of this. Yeah. Try a bit of this, it's really, really nice. And you wouldn't even try the products whenever I was having them.
I know, but I've eaten protein drinks and protein bars before, and meal replacements and things, and they're always powdery, they're always stuff that you just shove down your neck just to get, 20 grams of protein in you, or because it's low in fat or whatever.
Yeah.
But they all taste powdery and chalky, and you think, oh no, I don't fancy that, especially for 8 months like you went on it for. But yeah, those strawberry and banana smoothies, the breakfast smoothies, I'm absolutely hooked.
Absolutely, like an addict. Kind of similar to me and my vanilla shakes, to be fair. I think we're very similar, that when we find something that we like, we'll stick to it. It's the same with like food before like we started plan. Very much get set in our ways, don't we, with like certain things.
Yeah.
So you're now 8 weeks in, and how much have you lost now?
1 stone 12.25 pounds, I think
Like
it is.
2 stone basically, which
No,
is
don't get ahead of yourself. 1 stone 12.5 or 12.25.
which is amazing, and it is like dead on exactly what the plan prescribes, isn't it? 1 stone a month, no like hunger, no feeling deprived or any of that.
Not at all, no. There were times at the beginning, obviously, which I don't know whether we'll go into in a bit. There's a question about that and everything.
Yeah, we'll go into that in a moment.
But yeah, no hunger pangs. Like breakfast can be 10, 11 o'clock and I'm not hungry. If I have a bar in the afternoon, I have a bar, but if not, I'll have it in the evening as a little treat then. So yeah, I don't understand how you can't be hungry from it, but
it just works, doesn't it? It's
it
just
does, yeah.
like, we're not here to be the scientists behind the plan. Like, I'm not that intelligent. And I didn't do that well in GCSE science, but what we know is that it works, and like we're both like examples of that from completely different standpoints. So I always say to people that I think it's really important when you start on plan that you know your whys, like why you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a big why in that obviously you got COVID.
Yeah.
And got really ill.
Yeah.
And I was worried that I would get really ill and die as a result of you having COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was one day when it was particularly bad.
Yeah.
But I'm not laughing at him having COVID. He just thinks I overreact to the situation. So what was the reason why you decided that like you wanted to do it and it was different now? Because like, we've done stuff before. Like we've tried like Slimming World before. We've tried like
Everything.
Joe Wicks. Like yeah, we've tried
Weight
everything.
Watchers.
Like the lot. So why was like now different? Because you didn't have to come on with me. Well, you did if you wanted to be like a packing boy, but you didn't have to come on to plan. So why was it like now different?
I mean, there are a few obvious whys, like being around for pops and with having health issues and stuff like that, is
Yeah.
getting your weight down, but they're not the reason why.
Was it because you were getting a really fit wife?
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
The reason why, like, as selfish as it is that I just want to be able to go into a shop or order online and something that comes out in the post to me will actually fit, yeah, because how many times I order like bulk orders from ASOS,
Yeah.
and you get to a point where you just don't want to order double XL, so you order XL and that's your limit,
And then it's not comfortable.
and XL didn't fit, but you just don't want to admit it, and then
It's hard for guys as well, I suppose, because I think with women you've got like the whole like body positivity movement, a lot of plus size clothing, but you don't have many options for that as a bloke.
you got Giacomo, haven't you? But even the Giacomo
You didn't
guys,
want to go to Giacomo, did you? Is that like your...
No, but even the Giacomo guys, it's like top sportsmen who do Giacomo, and you're like,
Yeah.
right, okay, so yeah,
It's not like representative of the dad bod, is it?
not at all. No, they're just bigger lads, like bigger built lads.
Like rugby lads.
Yeah, so it was just the sheer amount of clothes that I used to order, not wear, tags on, and they used to go in the blue box, and
Yeah.
then I'd just buy stuff from Sainsbury's because their sizes were a little bit bigger.
Oh,
So
yeah.
and I told you I had it the other day where I came downstairs to take Pops to nursery.
Non-scale victory. First not proper non-scale victory.
Yeah, but it was my original jumper. But that's a large,
Yeah.
the jumper, and I put it on without having to shuffle
Just
your belly or pull your boobs, all those sorts of things. Yeah, you won't understand.
I know, well,
But yeah, so you know, as much as it should be for being around for Pops or you or health issues,
didn't give a
and
monkey's about any of that.
staying healthy. No, my big why. Well, I do care about it. My big why is just being able to buy clothes off a rail and know that they're.
There's nothing wrong with
fair.
that. Like I always say, like if that's your why, then just be true to yourself. That's the real reason it's going to drive you to do it, and it has been for you. That's been a really big driver for you. And actually, as I've lost the weight and got healthier, it's become more of a driver for me to like enjoy the clothes I wear, and that's more of a reason I want to maintain where I am and like do exercise and like tone my body up, is so that I look nice in clothes and can like buy nice things to wear.
Like you and your leggings and strappy top or jumper. Mine was a black t-shirt and
I thought you were going to do me dirty then and say something nasty.
Mine was a black t-shirt and jogging bottoms. So
yeah.
And that's all I lived in, even going out for walks and stuff, or going out
and
to
like,
the shop.
You would feel that self-consciousness if we were invited out somewhere before.
No,
or...
you wouldn't have anything to wear.
Yeah.
Like, literally nothing to wear. You put a shirt on, your belly's busting the buttons.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
But that is, like I say, perfectly valid reason why, as long as that is actually your reason why, and it's not just a cover for your real reason.
There's obviously underlying ones as well, but
that was the big one for you.
That is the main one, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna, we've got a question here. Oh, I've got quite a few questions. So.
How do I make my latte?
That's for me, not for you. You don't have a latte. I don't know if those are question. Here we go. Let's do this one. So, I
just lost it.
I have just lost the question. Oh my gosh. I meant to be good at this. So would love to hear what your time schedule has been for products and which step you're on.
Step 1B.
Yeah.
Because I just thought, strip it all back. Like, my diet was horrendous, as you know.
You were like a massive cereal fiend. Like when I say cereal fiend, I mean like 3 bowls. Like, and
that would be a box.
Yeah, like a box of cereal in one go. And like, there's no shame. Like, I'm not shaming you, but it was a lot to go from that to like a product. I was worried in the beginning.
Yeah, same.
I was like, what? How are you going to cope? I don't know anyone who's had a more carb-heavy diet.
Yeah, pizza, anything like waffles was with dinner. I couldn't have anything without like bread or waffles or chips or.
Yeah, Georgie's just said all things
rolls.
beige. Yeah,
exactly,
literally everything was beige. And like, you are proper veggie. I'm like a piss about veggie, but you can't eat meat, and I think that made your diet even worse, because instead of us venturing out into trying new things, you just stuck to all the veggie options of things that we ate before you couldn't eat meat, which is just cheese and cereal.
But even without filling up on meat, I think I was filling up on carbs instead, because I wouldn't fill my plate with broccoli, spinach or carrots. Right? It was filled with like potato smileys or waffles.
The
or
diet of like
Alpha
a 7-year-old from the 80s.
Yeah, it is. Beans.
Yeah.
It was like a kid's tea. But yeah, step 1B, because I thought, strip it all back and just go from the beginning basically. And what schedule or
how do you have your products? Because you actually do it a little bit differently to how a lot of people do it on plan. You take the 1B ethos of 3 products a day, but do it on step 1B, don't you?
I do, yeah. So I don't know, I like sticking to regimented things. So like breakfast would be, and it just happens to be that I like the breakfast smoothie. It's not because it's the breakfast smoothie that I have it for breakfast.
You haven't got to like explain yourself.
I feel like I do. So yeah, I'll have a smoothie for breakfast.
You love the breakfast smoothie.
I do, yeah. Totally different to like the shakes, because it's got the oats in, so it's a bit thicker. If you do it with less water.
I'm not a massive fan of that texture, that grittiness, but you don't find it a problem.
Not at all, no, I love it. And then if I'm hungry around so breakfast will be about 10 or 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Depending on like work and stuff like that. If I'm busy in the morning, it might be a bit later. But I'll never have breakfast before 10, ever.
No, you don't.
And then
have it later.
In the afternoon, if I am hungry, I'll have a strawberry and apple or a lemon yoghurt bar about 1 or 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
But again, if work overruns or I just don't fancy it, I'll leave it. And then I like to get sat. All I can see is Poppy with a beard.
Never noticed it this much. Yeah, Poppy is Jamie. Like, they are twins. Absolute twins.
Yeah, and then I take like the ethos of an evening meal. So I have like a double sachet in the evening to feel like I'm filling up and having a proper like.
You have a spagroni.
Proper tea, yeah. So I'd either have like the macaroni cheese or the spaghetti bolognese or a chicken tikka.
Yeah.
Or I'll have a spagroni, the spaghetti bolognese and the macaroni cheese.
Mix them up together. It's meant to be like a lasagna-y, like if you mix a lasagna up. Is that what it's like? I've not had it.
Yeah, without the layer of cheese and pasta. With a big sheet of pasta on the top. But yeah, I like to feel like I'm...
Chips on the side, garlic bread.
I like to feel like I'm filling myself up in the evening. So
Yeah, you like we've always been more of like a big evening meal. And I say it all the time, like I'm a volume eater. I know you took the piss out of me the other day, but I do like a big meal in the evening. And so for us, it just works better to leave the biggest meal of our day into like night time, mainly because Poppy will nick half of it now anyway.
Yeah.
But we don't need as much in the day because we both have busy jobs. We're both working from home. And so it's actually easier, I find. I don't know about you, but the products for me just work so easy with work.
Yeah,
like if you've got to run between meetings or something to grab a product.
Literally nothing to think about. And then yeah, in the evening, if I haven't had my bar in the afternoon, then I'll have the bar
at night then.
Like 8, 9 o'clock, just to finish the day off.
And you will occasionally have like a fava beans packet or a packet of pop squares, which everyone's up to their own on when they, which step they feel they can have those products on. If it's now and again, then it's completely up to you and your consultant when you feel you may need those. Those were something that you always brought in because we were such bad evening pickers. Yeah. And I think you needed that transitional time with something you could pick in the evening. But you don't really have those so much anymore. But did you find those helped you when you were going from not being on plan to then going on to plan?
Yeah, I mean, when we ordered them, they helped because I knew they were there, sort of like a fallback. But beforehand, I'd never been like a big crisp eater. I do like nuts, so the fava beans are a bit like nuts. But it was just like the early days of like Friday, Saturday nights when it was like the days are long on Saturdays usually, aren't they?
Yeah, you feel it on a Saturday. Your first weekend is hard, it's really hard. So, I don't know if you want to talk about your first weekend on plan.
Oh my God.
Mine, I can't even really remember that far back, to be honest. And I think I was so in the zone with it that I kind of just really pushed through. I did spend the day in bed day 5. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I couldn't get out of bed. I had the worst headache. I just felt sorry for myself and stayed in bed all day. But yeah, how was your first weekend?
So first week, first day is a bit of a novelty. It's like trying, I've got this to try or I've got that to try. It's all new. Day 2, you're sort of still riding that little high, aren't you? With I don't know, I might have had a different shake or a different bar.
Oh, I'm testing it out.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all
new and exciting.
New. And then day 3, you're like.
Yeah, that's when I get so many messages on day 3 saying I'm struggling today.
And then it just so happened that day 1 was Tuesday, day 2 was Wednesday, 3 Thursday, 4 Friday, and then the weekend
day 5 hit.
And Saturday morning, I think on Friday night, I dreamt about crumpets all night, big massive crumpets, little crumpets, because as you know, I'd eat
a lot of crumpets.
6 for breakfast. I'd have 2 butter, 2 jam or Marmite, and then 2 Nutella. So it was like a starter, main, and a pudding for breakfast, and wouldn't think anything of it. So yeah, I came down Saturday morning and all I could think about was crumpets, and Poppy had crumpets in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get them out of my head. I didn't know what was going on. I just constantly thought about crumpets all throughout the day then. So I got through Saturday, I don't know how.
It's hard, isn't it? It's your routine. Tough. And that, this is the thing. I know I'm laughing, but I'm laughing because I know what a mess he was. I can see, people in the comments saying that they've got struggles as well. And it is so, so hard. But it's because that was such a routine for you. That was every single Saturday morning you would have your crumpets. And Poppy would have, a little bit of yours. And breaking those routines is so hard, and the fact that you then dreamt about crumpets tells
crumpets
you.
And a nice coffee was my thing. And then, I mean, as shameful as it is, even if I was still hungry, I'd have a bowl of cereal after that as well.
For your pudding?
Which is despicable, really, but that was it. And on Saturday, as I say, I couldn't get crumpets out of my head, and I couldn't get the fact that I couldn't have a bowl of cereal, just a big bowl of cereal.
It's a mind game then, isn't it?
I just wanted some raisin wheats or some bran flakes or, some Cheerios, just some sort of cereal. But yeah.
It's like blooming Breakfast Club Anonymous, this.
Got through Saturday, I don't know how, and then Sunday.
See, for you, so if you're on a plan now, depending on you will have different difficult days. So typically I get to day 5 feeling all right, and I really start struggling on day 5 and day 6, and then day 7 I feel better. And you were the same as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Some people are lucky and they literally 3 days and they feel fine, they're absolutely living their best life. But yeah, for me, that day 5 and day 6 are absolutely killer. It's a reason I would never come off plan, because I just don't want to have to go through that week of having to get back into like the swing of it. But I remember that Sunday, that was a hard day.
Day 6.
Poppy had been up on the night on the Saturday as well.
And we went for a walk in the morning, like mid morning. It was about 11 o'clock, wasn't it? And I started plan when it was that heat wave.
Oh yeah.
So it was boiling hot. And anyway, we came back from the walk, and we never do this, do we? Pops went for a nap,
And we went to
and
bed.
I got into bed, and you just got into bed with me, and we fell straight to sleep. And I woke up, and I'm not even joking you, like I could pour a litre of water on my pillow and it wouldn't have been close to the drool.
How sopping it was.
The drool that was coming out of my mouth because I was dreaming about wine gums. And I hadn't eaten wine gums for about 2 years before this. But
That's what it does.
I just
like,
dreamt
your
about
mind.
wine gums. I had a dream where I was on the phone and I was just eating wine gums, like packets of wine gums. And I woke up and there was just drool in my beard. And when you've got a beard and you've got drool in it, it's hard to get out because it's right underneath.
What?
But it was all under my pillow, all on my pillow as well. And I came downstairs and all I wanted to do was go to the shop and get some sweets, like sports mixture, Haribo. I just wanted anything, and I would have eaten packet after packet.
Which we used to do regularly.
Sexy pillow talk.
That's it, Georgie. Sorry to like burst any bubbles here for this Wednesday Night Live, but we go to bed and go straight to sleep and dream about food.
So day 5 and 6 were the hardest, and day 2, I don't know whether it was the heat from the heat wave, but I had a monster of a headache, and I suffer with migraines anyway.
Yeah, I think that's because you come down from 8 crumpets a day and 5 bowls of cereal.
It done me in on day 2.
Yeah, it was hard, and it is, but you have to get through that first week, because once you're through that first week,
then it was just like, right, I'm on this for good. You
Yeah.
get on the train then, don't you? Like, I'm on this for good now.
yeah, that's it then. You just need to get through that first week. That first week is hard. Your mind will play games with you. You've got all that sugar coming out of your body. Your body will crave sugar, and it will make you think you're going mad to try and get sugar. But you have to fight through those mind games. You absolutely have to. Right, let's have a look at another
Someone
question.
said then they dreamt they were running and they were handing out burgers instead of water.
That's so funny. So, have you noticed any improvements in your autoimmune conditions since starting plan? So, I've mentioned on here before that obviously you've got psoriasis and psoriatic arthritis, because we were saying how Jem did your medical check to make sure step 1B was suitable for you.
Yeah.
So, have you found any difference in your skin or your joint pain since being on plan?
I got to be honest and say that I don't know whether I can attribute it to
Oh, thanks, Katie.
the products or the diet, because I've recently been on new medication as well. So, I mean, obviously the weight coming off has probably helped. I'm in a lot less pain now than I was before.
And I think both your rheumatoid consultant and your dermatologist would be very happy that you'd lost some weight.
Well, yeah, of course they would.
Yeah.
Considering the last time they probably saw me, I was 18 stone 10.
That's very true.
Which again is a bit shameful for someone who's struggling with arthritis. But I think I can't, as I say, attribute the products to it or the diet, but the weight loss has definitely helped. Like,
yeah.
I said to you the other day, didn't I was pushing Poppy up the hill by our house or by the co-op up there, and she weighs about 10 kilos, and going up the hill in the heat,
It's hard.
it was like I was carrying that 10 kilos before. So yeah, it's the weight loss has definitely helped, but obviously like the medication is probably helping as well. But yeah, definitely the weight loss.
And I think that's the thing, and it's one of those things you hate to admit, isn't it, in a way, because when you're bigger, every time there's something wrong and you need to go to the doctors, you're like, oh, it's just they're going to tell me that I'm fat, like that. It's literally that. If you're not a smoker, then it's that you're overweight, and then if you're not a smoker and you're not overweight, I'm very interested to see what they say now when you go and see them, if there is any other things that could be wrong with you. But you don't want to admit sometimes that your weight can cause that pain, and like I definitely felt carrying that extra weight, because obviously I've mentioned on here about having suspected lipedema in my legs, and how bad were my legs before.
Yeah.
They were so bad every night, and they are better now. I do still get sore days, but the weight has definitely helped, not having all that weight on me.
Say Coops is probably right though. The balance of nutrients in the products, like my diet before was probably getting no nutrients at all. So
yeah,
it probably all helps, but I don't want to say yes or.
Yeah, it would be irresponsible to say that the plan has helped whenever he's literally just started like very strong medication along the same time. But what I would also say is that it was really reassuring that even though the medication that he's now on is it's like obscure, it's not like it's a
biologic.
Yeah, it's not a common medication that you would take. And still, we were able to get confirmation from head office and their medical team that it was absolutely fine for him to be on plan, which was reassuring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we would never wanted him to do something that would risk him being healthy. And somebody's asked here about how much do you want to lose?
So initially it was going to be 2 stone because I'd already lost 2 since Christmas.
Well, initially you were doing it for 2 weeks.
When you started plan. So initially it was 2, but then looking at BMI and stuff, 4 stone, so I was 16.10. I want to get down to 12.5.
Yeah.
Ideally, so I'm about halfway through at the moment.
And you're what, 5 foot 10 and a half?
5 foot 11.
Oh, 11. Okay.
Just
and a half.
Well, I don't know. 5 foot something.
I tell you what, measurements are so different to men.
5 foot double digits. But yeah, 12.5 stone is the aim.
Yeah. Can we expect any tryouts or reels from Jamie? Wow. No, I don't know. Obviously, we want to document his journey as well, because it's a completely different experience for a man, I think, than a woman on a plan like this. And I think there's also more stigma for men than women on plans like this, because women naturally, I think, we go on diets, we talk about diets with our friends, whereas for blokes, like you were saying earlier on, you haven't even spoke to any of your mates about the fact that you're doing plan.
Yeah, it's not something that would come up in our sort of conversation. It wouldn't be like I'd message the group and be like, oh, I started this new diet today, because everyone would just be like, oh yeah, whatever, you know.
Do you see the football at the weekend, lads?
Or I'll give you a week, or I'll give you 2 weeks, and you'll be back on the
Stella.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's not something that comes up. If somebody does ask me like, what are you doing, like someone in work has,
yeah, then you'll speak about it.
I'll tell them, and then obviously people will find out through you that I'm on plan. So it's not something that, you know, I'm ashamed of or try to hide from anyone. It's just it wouldn't come up in conversation with my mates. So yeah, I think there was a question about being open and honest with friends and family. So family I have, friends, if they ask I will do, but I haven't sort of put it on them. I don't think I need to you know, like highlight it to anyone. I think
no, you don't have to. It's completely up to you. And you know, I was always like that. Jake, obviously you knew that I was on plan, and my close friends that like you speak to every day, and when I literally mean my bestest like friend, because every day one of the questions that we'll ask each other is what you're having for tea. So suddenly whenever like I'm not having like something for tea, obviously that came up in conversation, but I never outwardly had those conversations with people unless people asked. Obviously now a lot of people ask, they see me and they're like, what are you doing? And like scarily they follow me on here. But like I never had those conversations, and it meant I never had to come up with those like excuses or feel that pressure that sometimes you can put on yourself. So I would always advise, like, tell the people you think you need to tell or want to tell, but don't feel like you have to go around justifying it to like all of your friends.
No, and
don't overthink it in that way.
If there is a bit of a stigma about it, I mean, I've already prepared like for that, is that smoothies for breakfast now are quite popular anyway. So no one needs to see you actually open the packet with, you know, the branding on and putting it in, and it's like, oh, that's a diet shake, is it? Just have a smoothie in your cup and that's your breakfast, and just having a smoothie. Same with the bar. Unwrap the bar and just say you're having a cereal bar or something like that. And then the meals, when you put them in a bowl, especially my double pack ones,
it just looks like a normal meal.
The spag bowl and the macaroni cheese just looks like a normal meal. So if you put that in front of me on the table, it just looks like I'm having food as well. So
yeah,
if there is a stigma about it, I just go that way, but I know there never would be. So
and you made a good point earlier on, actually, because we were talking about this and I was like, have you like told people that you're like doing plan, like the boys or anyone? And you said like we wouldn't talk about like what we were eating. We wouldn't like that wouldn't come up in conversation. And it's so true. And like we say it all the time, like people don't typically go around talking about what each other's eating or commenting on their food. I think sometimes you can be so paranoid when you're on plan that people are going to ask you questions that you almost put it out there.
Yeah.
And then you generate those conversations when they don't really need to happen. But like, yeah, I've never really had too much of a problem with it. I have some questions up here. So, have you noticed people treating you better since you've lost weight?
No, not really. It's more for me than anyone else, I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take notice of anybody else if I was 2 or 4 stone heavier anyway. So, I haven't noticed anyone treating me differently. I'm quite a friendly character anyway. So if if I see someone, I'll say hi to them. I don't think they're not going to say hi to me because I was 18 stone or
no, I've never felt
16
like
stone. So
I've been treated differently because I'm bigger or smaller. What I think though is that I'm much more confident now I've lost weight, so I don't perceive situations perhaps in the way I did before. So I won't naturally think like, oh, they're looking at me because I'm really big, or do you know what I mean? So I think it wasn't the way people treated me, but it's how I read situations. Because I think when you are overweight, if you're constantly thinking about that and you're worried about that, it's a bit narcissistic. Like you are constantly thinking about how other people are perceiving you. But they don't look at your weight, do they?
No.
It's like your mum when she says to me, she's like, I never thought that's how big you were. I never thought that's what you looked like. Because people that truly care and love you, they don't see your weight, which is sometimes what the problem is. Because if they did, they'd probably say to you, you know, what's going on? Is everything all right? But you don't see people that you care about's weight.
No, but you know, that to that question, it's a yet, isn't it? Like some people that we see after this might treat us a bit differently, you never know. So it's a yet for me. I haven't had anyone do it yet.
But I mean, imagine if someone did.
Yeah,
like imagine like one of your mates, like they wouldn't be a mate then, would they?
Well, no, exactly.
Like that would really annoy me. Really annoy me.
There's a question there.
So 7 cents. Hi, sorry, I just joined. What was your weight before and what are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
So 16.10 at the start and 14.11 3/4 as of Tuesday. It might be lower now.
But the amazing thing was, even without being on plan, you lost like 2 stone just from me being on plan.
Yeah.
Just from us not having those like habits of takeaways together, chocolate,
sweets, ice cream, Ben and Jerry's.
You're an actual food addict.
Cookies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See if there's any more questions here. So, how did you find it when Jamie was eating and you weren't? I get really food envious. So it really didn't bother me in the slightest, did it?
Well, you said it didn't, but like I said at the start, I was very sceptical and thought you were just trying to cover it up.
Don't get me wrong, there was that one day that I made you both a roast dinner, and I remember coming on here and being like, I want to sink my face into their roast dinner, like, oh my god, it smelled so good. But I didn't, and then I felt really proud afterwards, and I had my bar afterwards there, and I like cleaned everything up, got rid of all the smell of roast dinner, and then I had a bar, and then I was fine then after I got past that craving. But no, like I didn't really bother. It didn't really bother me. But they've asked, did you find this plan expensive?
In a nutshell, no. Because
Gemma, I remember that day when you wanted a roast. I was on the phone to her like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, sorry.
In a nutshell, no. Because if I nipped out to Tesco to buy bread, for example, or milk, I reckon I'd spend 30 to 50 quid there as well, just buying end of aisle stuff or things that I thought we needed, or just a little treat for the night, you know. I
literally remember doing food shops thinking I need something for every night of the week to have after tea.
Yeah.
Like, we need something, and it wouldn't be like one thing, it'd be like a tub of ice cream, but then I want a cup of tea, so I need to get some biscuits to go with tea. Like I always say, people message me a lot saying how expensive is it? Oh, that's too expensive. I always say, look at your bank statements and actually be honest with how much you're spending on food, because I'm not being funny. We didn't get to the weights we were because we didn't spend a lot of money on food. Like, we clearly had an issue where we spent a lot of money on really crap food.
Yeah.
And I would easily, like, in the morning before work, Starbucks, a fiver, gone, not even thought about. Something on lunch then, from like Tesco meal deal, another fiver. Like, the products are like £2.60 each. And I always think, if you're looking at it over the course of a week or a month, depending on how you do plan, then it can seem like a really big outlay because you've got nothing initially to show for it. You know, if I walked up to the front door of Tesco and before I could even go into Tesco, they went, that would be 70 quid, please. I'd be like, whoa, wait, what are you even going on about? Because I have nothing to show for it. Whereas I think once you start doing plan, you start getting the weight losses, you get into the habit of that new way of buying your products and your food and what have you, it just becomes the norm. And actually, you end up saving money. Like, how much money would we spend on takeaways? I just want to think about it.
Hundreds.
I literally don't want to think about it.
It also stops, like, the shopping trips. We used to go to the shop maybe 3 or 4 times a week.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, we hardly go to the shops anymore because we don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's quite a nice feeling that, like, we don't have to be in the shops all the time, like surrounded by it. Obviously, we still buy Poppy stuff. Gem, it's only expensive when you don't stick to it. Yeah, that is the only time it's expensive, when you're not doing it and then you're buying products and also buying all your food and your takeaways and your stuff as well. Yeah, then it is expensive because you're spending everything you spent before and then extra as well. But for me, £2.60 for a meal.
And it fills you up. And
yeah.
You're getting all the nutrients, as somebody else has just said. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't find it expensive, but it's each their own with that.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, that what we think is expensive is completely different to somebody else, because somebody else's circumstances will be different.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, if you think, do you know what, I can't afford to do 3-4 products a day, just remember that this plan is so much more than just meal replacements, and I've really become passionate about that since moving up the steps. And so if you can't do 3-4 products a day, well, you can do 2 products a day and then have your calorie controlled meals that your consultant will help you out with. But you're still getting like 75% of your daily nutrition in 2 meals, and that's done. And as a working mum, and I'm, you know, working dads as well, there is nothing more convenient than just being able to grab a product. There just is not anything more convenient than that, and not having to think about it.
Like Jamie's opinion on shampoo. Exactly. What's expensive to me is not expensive to you. So, yeah, I've already told you as well that when I get to goal and maintenance, I'll still be using products. I'll still have that shake for breakfast, and I'll still keep bars as well. So
it's like people are asking me on my weekly updates, will you still have products? Like, now that you're going into, like, you know, you're more of like a maintenance journey. I'm like, absolutely, like, I have to have that vanilla shake. I don't know what Jem does when you become one of her slimmers, but she just like hypnotizes you into wanting a vanilla shake and a peanut bar. And I honestly don't think I can be without them. They're just fantastic.
Someone said about exercise, I think.
Yeah, so do you do exercise on plan? So you don't, quite rightly, because you're on a low step.
And I've only just started aiming for like a walk a day.
Yeah.
So I aim for 5,000 steps because, I mean, believe it or not, you do a few hundred steps when you're working from home on a laptop.
Oh my God, guys. Like, if I didn't do running now, the whole reason I started running was purely so, like Kate was saying last week, I can maintain and enjoy stuff, like at the weekends, go out and do stuff. But you do have to move. Like, ultimately, it's maths, isn't it? Calories in, calories out. You have to burn calories in some way to be able to enjoy extra.
Yeah.
But if I didn't do that now, because of our jobs, we wouldn't do more than like 2,000-3,000 steps a day, if
less
that.
Than that for me.
So you've made a really good goal, I think, of saying you want to hit 5,000 steps a day, which is all I started with. When I was on the lower steps, my first goal, do you remember in the winter, I was like, I'm going to get out 3 times this week with Poppy. Like, 3 times I just wanted to go out and walk around the block, not even the full loop, because I couldn't do the full loop because I got too tired. And now you build that up over time. And actually, what I think is really nice and what I love more than doing the exercise is that we like enjoy that time together now.
Yeah, but as well, with losing the weight, you're not as self-conscious when you're going outside, and you've got stuff to wear.
Yeah. Like,
before, you're wearing like tight clothes and you don't really want to walk around because you're sweaty or you think people are looking at you. So yeah, it is more enjoyable now.
It was even like in the winter when like neither of our coats fit.
Yeah.
So like we couldn't go out.
Mine broke.
Well, we couldn't go out because we had no like like no coat. So we'd be like, oh, we don't want to go. Don't want to go and do that. And we did, but we couldn't. We held ourselves back. Like, it's really sad when you think about it like that.
We've booked holidays and got refunds for them because we didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And that is a sad life.
Like, we booked to go to Edinburgh. We both really want to go to Scotland, didn't we? Like,
Yeah.
really want to go. But we both felt like and it's really, do you know, it's so funny you say that now, because we both really didn't want to go, so we had nothing to wear, nothing to take with us. Like, it was just going to be an effort to go. And how sad is that we then cancelled our holiday? And we still haven't been. We need to go now. Siobhan, what are you most excited about as a couple going into the future? Is that popping?
No.
What are you most excited about?
Getting to goal,
Yeah.
first of all, and then just, I don't know, my mindset's already changed about like the type of food that I would eat at goal as well. So it wouldn't just be a case of I get to goal and then Domino's or something like that, because it's just a waste.
No,
I'd want to have really nice food on there.
Yeah.
So getting to goal is the first
Jem
thing.
just said Convention 2022 is in Glasgow.
Whoop, whoop. So yeah, goal first, and then just, I don't know, just feeling comfortable, like in your own skin, as weird as that probably sounds, but just feeling comfortable going forward and knowing that, you know, you've got a bit more confidence about yourself as well now. So yeah, it's just that really.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's opportunities, isn't it?
Yeah. And
like, it's the opportunity to be able to do anything and not have to overthink it or overplan it. Like if someone says, like when Han said to us about, like if we would say, she was like, oh, do you want to go out? Do you want to go and do something? Like, I'd be like, yeah, all right then. Like, we'll find a babysitter and we'll go. Whereas before we would have been like, oh no, we can't tonight, sorry. Like, we're not able to do that. Like, I just feel like we held ourselves back a lot.
Definitely. Yeah.
And we told ourselves, oh, we're home birds. Oh, we just like being sat on the sofa.
We do as well.
Yeah, we do, and we do. Like,
but when something's on to watch, not because we're on our phones and there's something else on the telly that we're not taking an interest in.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you know, we want to do things like take Poppy away, and like we want to do Lapland in like maybe next year or the year after when she's a bit bigger, and like things like that we wouldn't even have done before, because it just, it would have been too much effort and we weren't fit enough to do it, like physically fit enough to do it. And then I'm excited to see, obviously I'm starting consulting next month, and I'm so excited to like have that experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so looking forward to working with people and like getting them to this place, because you're like, if I could bottle this up and give this to you, if I could like bottle this up and like, you know in Alice in Wonderland where she has to eat something or drink something and she gets bigger and smaller, if I could like be like, just eat a little bit of this and you'll feel for like 10 seconds what you'll feel like when you get to gold, like people would be hooked.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to get people to that place where they want to come on board and like change their lives as well, because it's not the big things, like you said, it's the little changes that mean the most. Getting dressed really quickly and going out for a walk and not sweating your tits off.
But I think then they just snowball, don't they? Like I said to you the other day, you're like a little bit of snow at the top of the hill, and then the more positivity
One
you
of
get,
your analogies.
it rolls downhill, and then before you know it,
You're a big ball of positive snow.
not physically, but yeah, you are. So
Yeah, it's so true. And I think that I'm really looking forward then to seeing what that can do, and like that next step and getting to work with other people to have them get to feel like this as well. I think that would be, and you get to get a cap and pack orders. So
and
that'd be fun.
I said to Jem the other day, I'm still only halfway through, so this is only like the 8th week, so I don't want to get ahead of myself.
So excited.
You don't want people saying to you like, oh, you've done so well, or oh, you've lost loads of weight, you have, and then you think in the mirror and you go, yeah, I have, haven't I? So I'll just stop now.
Yeah, don't get diva fever.
I don't want to be like that.
Yeah, no, don't be like that. But I think you do need to acknowledge it along the way. And I always remember saying like every kind of stone, I'd be like, if I feel this good now, like how much better am I going to feel when I get to the next point and the next point and the next point? And you kind of get to that place, you're like, how can I feel any better? And then you do. Like, it is just amazing.
Yeah, I think like before starting this, I don't know, you sort of accept. I used to accept that I've got like big knees or chubby thighs
Yeah.
or a belly. You know, I'm just a big lad. People used to say, "Oh yeah, you're just a big lad." You know, just a big. You got broad shoulders. You're just a big lad. And
Just
you
a
think,
rugby lad.
you think, yeah, right then, I'll carry on with that then. But then, like, you don't understand that your body will change so much, even in like 7 weeks for me.
You have changed so much, like literally so much. I cannot get over how much your body shapes. But don't you find as well this plan? It just sheds your body in a different way. Like me, like I've still got big legs. Like I think in proportion to my body, but they're so much slimmer than they've ever been, and they've slimmed out loads.
You know, like I think.
What are you gonna say?
No, I think Jem said before, didn't she, that you were sitting on the sofa one day and you thought you were sitting on the remote, but it was your bone.
I had my hand like that, and I was like, "Why is like what is this? Is it the remote?" And I was like, "Oh my god, no, it's my hip bone. Like I just not felt it."
I had that today, so I was upstairs on the spare bed and I had my laptop on the pillow.
Yeah.
And like I was getting a bit uncomfortable, so I lay on the side and pulled my knee up, and as my knee came above the pillow, I was thinking, whose leg's that? It just didn't look like my knee anymore. So yeah, it's strange, like how your body, because you always just look at your body and you think, I can't imagine like that belly can't go down. You know,
Yeah.
like, it can't go anywhere. Like
It is mad.
my moobs, they just couldn't go anywhere. They're always going to be that big. How are they going to shrink? You know, and especially just by eating different things and not actually exercising.
Yeah, and it's like it is hard. Like it is hard. It's silly to sit and say it's not hard, because it is hard, because you have to sacrifice certain things. But I just feel like for the results you get, I remember thinking like it can't be this easy, because I love the products. I never felt hungry. There were difficult days, absolutely, but when you have those moments when you step on the scale or you look in the mirror and you have those moments of like discovering new things, you're like, what the hell? That's a new one for her to add. Whose legs are?
The thing for me, see, that I get impatient about is time. I just want Tuesday
I'm
to
a bit
come
like
on.
that.
I just want Tuesday. Like I want to get to Tuesday. I want to get to weigh in, and then like even at the start of my journey, I was saying to you, wouldn't I, like, yeah, but if I drop my calories to 800 that I'm on at the moment, I'd naturally lose weight anyway. So it took me a few weeks to be like, is this the real deal? Like,
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
I
I
would have
kept
lost that
saying to
weight.
you.
I would have lost that weight anyway.
I was like, are we in now? Have you bought into it yet? And he'd be like, I'll give it a couple more weeks. Like, it's like, come on, like, how are you not absolutely loving this? And then it was like week 3 when you had another big loss and you were like, you weren't expecting it.
No, I thought I'd plateau out and then it would be like, I told you, didn't I?
Yeah,
Like,
I could tell you were
I
waiting
don't know how
for
you're
that.
doing it, but, you know, that's what I thought was going to happen. But it just keeps coming. Like, I've even put in my calendar on my Outlook in
When
work,
what your weight will be.
I've guessed what the weight's going to be, and I think I was like half a pound off last week, and I was over by like a quarter of a pound this week, and I just don't understand how it keeps like chipping away.
It's just the best. Even Jem said, I couldn't believe I hadn't done it before, knowing I was guaranteed my goal. It's like, you are, and I always said that. I was like, I literally know I'm going to get there. I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and then you get there.
That's a good point as well. When you said Georgie was on step 4 and still losing.
Yeah, she's doing.
Didn't she lose a stone in 4 weeks?
Yeah,
or something?
in August.
£20 in.
£21, wasn't it, in August?
And I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe it,
did.
obviously, because I know she did, but I just can't believe that this diet does that to you when, as Georgie says, she's still eating 1,200 calories.
Yeah, and that's it. It's not all about these low steps. And like Jem always says, pick the step that you're going to stick to, because that is the step you will lose the most weight on. There's no point trying to do step 1B or step 2 if you're not able to do it. Do a higher step, because it's consistency. Like, consistency is absolutely key. Just keep doing what you're doing and you will get to where you want to be then. Like, and you'll be there. It won't even be long.
It has blown my mind, like how I keep looking at the scales and they're down. Like I said to Jem on Tuesday, I don't think I've been in the 14s since I was early 20s, and I'm 35 now, so
Looking good.
if it carries on, then happy days, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We did get a question as well that asked whether or not you found it difficult with us, or if we found it difficult being on different steps and different stages of our journey. So I have always said, like, I found it fine whenever I was on plan and you weren't on plan. You weren't the type that would order takeaways or anything like that. You were always really supportive.
Well, I said to you the other day, didn't I? I think whether it was consciously or subconsciously, I would always go and make my food after you'd eaten. So then you'd have already had your evening meal, and then I'd go in and make my slop of a...
That's it. It was more slop then than it is now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't find it tough now that you're on step 2 and I'm on...
And I'm actually on step 3, so thanks for
step
keeping
3.
that.
Sorry. That you're on step 3 and I'm on step 1B still. Because as I say, I feel like I'm still early on in the journey. I feel like 7 weeks, I can't claim to be like an expert at it or I've cracked it. You know, I'm going along for the ride at the moment.
Yeah.
And you're already in... You're 8 months in, and 8
in that mad?
8 stone in as well.
That is crazy.
And you know you're step 3 now, so you're sort of gradually going through the steps as well. So it's not like you've become like a kung fu master and I'm like just learning the trade at the moment.
Is it a sensei?
I don't know.
That call it?
But yeah, I really haven't found it difficult with you being on a different step. Obviously, like I look at the food and I think I can't wait to get there. But
I was like that. I used to think like I can't wait to get to the point that I can incorporate good food in. But I think it is nice for you because like you're now seeing like what kind of foods I'm having.
Yeah.
And like it won't be long until you're moving up because obviously I had more weight to lose than you. My journey was always going to be longer than your journey. I've just made the decision to work through the steps a bit slower. Purely because I've got loads of bloody events in October. Like literally every weekend from October to November I'm doing something. So like I need to rein it in the week so that I can like enjoy my weekends. So I think naturally we'll find that our new equilibrium together, won't we?
Well,
our new norm.
We may end up like finishing or getting onto maintenance at the same time, you know, but I don't know, it just makes me look forward to dinner times now when you're ordering your Gusto boxes. And...
I love my Gusto boxes. And the thing is, we won't ever really be on the same step, if you like, because you will always be on higher calories than me. It's a really sad reality that I need to like come to terms with because like realistically, I'm like a couple of pounds off where I want to settle now and then I just need to not put weight on before you get to goal. That's my challenge now, is that actually I need to like manage to maintain where I am now, and not blow it out the park. And like Jem said to me this week when we had our catch up, she was like, "This is the biggest learning point. Like this is where you'll learn everything because I've not had these challenges yet. Where you know if I've gone out for food, I've stuck to my products, or I've stuck to a 200-calorie meal. I've not gone out for food and had that kind of free reign to be like, if you want a glass of prosecco or you want like, you know, that's like going to be a whole new journey. And then you know you'll probably pick stuff up from like me along the way with that then, and like see what I do well at, what I don't do well at, and then you can bring that into your journey then. Yeah,
but again, it's something to look forward to, like. Seeing you going on higher steps is something that I'm aiming for now.
Yeah.
To go on to the higher steps and get to that point of maintenance and being able to eat food sensibly instead of
just
like if I ordered a Gusto box, I'd eat all 4 meals straight away.
Georgie said, can James not have bigger portions? He will have bigger portions and he can. The issue is he is the fussiest eater in the world. So like if I want to have like you wouldn't have like salmon or
mushrooms.
It would like he's really fussy. Like it's
some sauces that you'd have. Vinegar, definitely not.
Like vinegar full of calories. Like I think that's going to be a massive hurdle to overcome. But like we've always ate really poorly because and I mean this in the nicest way, you're very unadventurous with your food. I am very unadventurous in finding food that we would both like. So we reverted back to like pizzas, smiley faces, like really, really boring food. Now we've gone through this journey, I'm enjoying having foods with a bit more taste and texture. because like, most stuff you eat is just bland.
Yeah. Or salt all over it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to learn now what things can we make that we'll both like, that kind of pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit, and we can meet in the middle. But it probably will mean that there will be times that we eat slightly different foods. Yeah.
Someone's asked, how much more do you both want to lose?
I've got like 3 pounds to lose until I'm calling time on it. And then for me, it's a journey of exercising. Obviously, I want to have surgery at some point next year to like remove some skin. But to do that, I need to build some muscle. So that'll be my next journey then. And also, like I said, like learning to maintain. How about you?
2 stone for me, so
yeah.
I'm literally halfway at the moment, so another 50% to go.
Isn't it mad that like you want to lose 4 stone? That's half of what I lost then.
I know, I feel a bit of a fraud.
I feel like I was a hell of a chubber.
But then it would have been 6, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Jamie, we need to really work on you from step 3. Jem, you're going to have your work cut out for you, because I could go through...
I won't eat anything, Jem, if you're going to suggest like beetroot or mushrooms or...
I'll go through the steps book
like
at Veg, and I literally have no idea what he's going to eat. So stay tuned, because I will probably document it, because I literally have no clue what the boy is going to eat. Like dry corn and broccoli will be your step 2.
I would love that, yeah.
Oh.
Or dry corn and spinach.
Oh. Like, and this is it. Like, I like a sauce, don't I?
Yeah.
I love a sauce. Like, I don't like dry food. So yeah, this is it. It's and whenever you lose weight, and ultimately you're in you're a family, this is what it takes. It takes time figuring out like, how are we going to now sustain this as a family change long term, because this was about me losing weight initially. Does he like herbs and spices? He likes aromat and mixed herbs.
I do love aromat.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, it's about us now making long-term changes, and obviously we've got Poppy as well, so we want to, at the minute Poppy eats separately from us, but that is just purely because of our routines and what have you. But ultimately we want to sit down as a family and eat together, so we're going to be on a new discovery now of figuring out how do we bring us all together to eat healthy meals and teach her really healthy habits. And that will be something completely new. The plan doesn't end when you work up the steps, or you figure out how you want to go onto your journey of maintenance. I think if you've struggled with food for a long time and you've had a lot of weight to lose, 8 months on plan is not sorting all your problems out. And that's why having consultants is so important, because I know that I can reach out to Jam and she'll help.
Well,
like long term then. Like, she'll help give us ideas and keep us on track.
I said to Jem the other day that those thoughts of the food that you used to eat, it doesn't go away. Like,
no, it doesn't.
We've got a takeaway up the road that we used to get the Cajun fries from. I still want Cajun fries. Like, they'd be nights where I think, can you imagine now just placing an order, but you don't do it, like, because you're focused on where you want to be. And after I get to goal and I'm on maintenance, maybe we could share a pack of those the Cajun fries, but I wouldn't do it now. But yeah, it never goes away. I look in the cupboard when Poppy opens it, or we're preparing Pops' food, and I see cereal in there, and I think, I'd love to eat that now. Or
you need to see someone about
Pops has like bread and like tea cakes.
Like,
and
it
stuff,
doesn't go. I had it randomly the other day when I made a toast, and I was like, oh my god, that buttery toast smells insane. But yeah, it's about just figuring out like what's important to you, what your priorities are. But those things take time. And like someone earlier on said they wanted to try plan, but they're really worried they would eat something off plan. And like, I think you do get to a point where that mentality has to switch. You have to accept that if you do no longer want to be the weight you were when you started plan, and you want to have a different life, that you can't be the way you were before you started plan. Like, you have to change. And it's a really hard reality that if you want to be slimmer, healthier, fitter, happier, that's what's made us happier, that those changes have to happen. And that old life that we had that wasn't serving us didn't make us happy. Unfortunately, we can't go back and live like that. So I used to always like be like, oh, here we go, Deirdre's going to tell me that I need to do a lifestyle change, you know, if you went to like Fat Club or something. But it is actually true, and I've become that Deirdre, where you do have to make lifestyle changes and just completely 180 and veto what you were doing before, because otherwise it won't last long term. But if your why is strong enough, and the reason why you want to do it is strong enough, then you'll be empowered to make those changes, and it won't be like a deprivation. Because I don't know about you, but like I've genuinely never been happier.
Yes, well, like it's still early days for me, but yeah, I definitely am happier with it. And step 1B has helped me with that sort of food craving and stuff, because like I said earlier, it's like stripped me back to the start. So I'm just using products. I'm not going to the shop and buying myself food where I'd make the wrong choices.
Yeah, that really helped me, just stripping back to products.
It has like stripped it right back. So that's why, as I say, I'm looking forward to adding food in, just to see what types of food now.
Because you might like new things, like your taste buds can change. I had some
maybe some
spice, some like chili on one of my gusto meals, and I quite liked it. And I hate chili, like, but I like that flavour.
Someone said, nice. I think in the comments, that they're loving adding food now and the taste of food, and I think that's how it'll be.
Because I think you can taste it. It's not just fats and sugars and crap that you have in before. But that is it. That was an hour.
What about the questions?
Well, we've done a lot of them, but you've had an hour, unfortunately.
Oh.
Is there anything you would like to end on? Any little like bits of Jamie philosophy, or?
I keep them for you. I don't know. Thanks for watching and tuning in, and apologies if this wasn't the type of live that you were looking to log into tonight. But yeah, thanks for watching me, and thanks for having me on as well.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I enjoyed it. I might get you on again in the future when you're at golf.
We'll see.
We'll get you back on.
I might charge next time.
All right. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. I really enjoyed tonight. It's quite nice having my guest live, like with me.
Yeah, I know. It's good pretending to be your husband and actually living with you. I've got to go back to my own flat now.
But as always, if you have got any questions, leave them down below. I will be sure to answer them. And unfortunately, James doesn't have social media, so there is no way for you to follow him. But if you continue to follow me, I will be sure to update you on his journey, and hopefully you'll see more of him going forward. But yeah, any questions, leave them down below, and thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
Enjoy your evening, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.